Have you ever felt like your parents didn't really want you? Not that they hated you, but they just ignored you, making you feel almost invisible. I have certainly felt that way myself. And for a long time, I didn't even know that feeling had a name. And just like me, many adults don't realize that the things they struggle with today, things like difficulty forming relationships, social anxiety, emptiness, or even being overly empathetic, often don't start in adulthood at all. They usually begin in a childhood where you felt unwanted, a time when your emotional needs were quietly ignored, a time when you learned to deal with things on your own, a time when you learned not to need too much. In this video, I want us to look at the subtle, lesser-known signs of what it really means to grow up feeling unwanted, not just ignored, and how that experience quietly shapes our personality, our relationships, and the way we cope with loneliness, connection, and self-worth. But before we go any further, let me tell you about my friend, Mary. Mary is 34 years old when this story begins. From the outside, she looks fine. She has a job. She shows up. She handles things. In fact, if you met Mary, you might even think she's strong. But inside, Mary has carried a quiet pain for as long as she can remember. Her parents never really wanted her. Her mom said it out loud sometimes. She said that Mary was a mistake, something that just happened. And even when it wasn't said, Mary could feel it. No one really asked how she was doing. And when they did, they didn't wait for the answer. So she learned early that her feelings didn't matter much. And by the time Mary was about 8 or 9 years old, she understood something without anyone ever explaining it to her. She understood that her emotions were inconvenient. Her needs were easy to ignore. So she stopped showing them. She stopped asking questions. She stopped complaining. She stopped needing comfort. Mary became independent very early. Too early. She learned how to take care of herself, how to stay quiet, how to not be a problem. People praised her for it. They called her mature. They said she was strong for her age. But what they didn't see was that Mary wasn't strong. She was just trying not to be unwanted again. Now, as an adult, Mary struggles with things she can't quite explain. She feels empty even when life is going okay. She has a hard time letting people get close. She feels guilty for needing help. And when someone pulls away, even a little, it hurts more than it should. Do you see yourself in any part of Mary's life? Drop your experience in the comments now. Next, we'll talk about some of the ways being an unwanted child quietly shows up in adulthood. And if you were one of those children, you're probably going to recognize yourself more than you expect, and that's okay. We'll talk about what you can do and what you can change later in the video. But for now, just listen, recognize yourself, and adapt. The first thing many unwanted children struggle with is forming close relationships. This is so sad. And it's not because they don't want connection as they actually do. But closeness feels unfamiliar. It feels unsafe. So, they keep people at arm's length, not because they're cold, but because vulnerability feels like exposure, like touching something you once burned your hand on. Even if it looks safe now, your body remembers the pain of being burned. So, without thinking about it, you pull back, you hold a little distance, you stay guarded. Psychologists call this an insecure attachment style. But really, it's just a nervous system that learned very early that closeness comes with hurt. And once your body learns that lesson, it doesn't forget it easily. This next one shows up in most unwanted children. They feel socially anxious or awkward. And some of you would have recognized these signs in yourselves, or in others before. A child who grows up without emotional validation from parents learns that their feelings might be too much, wrong, or unwanted. And in adulthood, this often shows up as social anxiety. They may overthink every interaction, be on the guard for danger, or worry about saying the wrong thing. It's like their nervous system is working off old programming, trying to protect them from the rejection that happened long ago, even if the present situation is safe. Number 3. Unwanted children often grow up with a very rich imagination. When a child feels unwanted, the outside world doesn't feel emotionally safe or warm. So, they do something very smart without even knowing it. They build a safer world inside their head. They daydream a lot. They disappear into books, music, stories, or their own thoughts. They create little worlds where they feel seen, valued, or in control. For an unwanted child, imagination is refuge. In adulthood, this often shows up in quiet ways. They may zone out a lot. They might live in their head more than in the moment. They replay conversations, imagine different outcomes, or drift into thoughts when things feel emotionally uncomfortable. Some become deep thinkers, writers, artists, or very creative problem solvers. Others escape into books, movies, music, or even scrolling for hours. There's a cost to this, though. They can feel disconnected even when they're around people. They may struggle to stay present in relationships. Sometimes they feel like life is happening around them instead of with them. Because when you grow up learning how to feel safe alone in your mind, being fully seen by someone else can feel unfamiliar, even scary. Number 4 is being highly empathetic and sensitive to others' feelings. An unwanted child is usually lonely and often learns to scan the emotional environment to feel safe. As an adult, this turns into strong empathy and emotional awareness. They may sense mood shifts easily, pick up subtle cues, or absorb other people's emotions. It's a strength that makes them compassionate and intuitive, but it can also be draining because they offer others the emotional care they never received, often without noticing their own needs fading into the background. There are many other ways that being an unwanted child shows up in adulthood, but you get the point. Quick one, we appreciate you watching and invite you to like the video and subscribe. One of my responsibilities as a psychologist is to help people feel better, and that's what this next part is about. I want to share 7 simple things that Mary did and that you also can do to feel better about yourself. If you had even a tiny feeling of being an unwanted child, pay close attention to this next part and remember that knowledge is useless unless action is taken. First of all, stop blaming yourself for the crime of existing. Say this out loud now. I was a child. It wasn't my job to earn love. Do it daily for a week. Yes, it will feel cringe, but that's how you know it's working. Number 2, catch your rejection filter. Unwanted children often hear rejection even when none is there. It's like they can't help themselves. So do this. When you feel rejected, ask, what did they actually do? What story did my brain add to what they did? Write the 2 sentences down and read it again. This single habit reduces anxiety fast because you get to see more clearly. Number 3. Practice safe vulnerability in small doses. Pick one person you feel mostly safe with. Just one. Then share one small, honest thing with them. Like, I've been stressed lately. There is word. I don't like being ignored. I need reassurance sometimes. Then stop. Don't explain it to death. Don't joke it away. Just let them respond. This part matters. Your body needs proof that being close to someone doesn't always end in pain. And you're teaching your nervous system that closeness can be safe. Number 4, build boundaries that match your sensitivity. If you absorb people's emotions, you need a filter. So, before call or hang out with people, make these decisions. How long am I staying? What am I not discussing? What time am I leaving? And yes, leaving early is allowed. You're not a charity. 5. Replace hyper-independence with smart support. Unwanted kids don't ask for help. They suffer in silence. So, start asking for help. Ask for one small help this week without feeling like you are burdening people. Simple requests like, can you send me that link? Can you check this for me? Can you keep me company for 10 minutes? If your body panics, it's okay. That's just the old programming revolting. 6. Reparent yourself like you actually matter. This is the healing cheat code, so don't ignore it. Even if you do nothing else, do this one. Every day, give yourself one thing you needed as a child. It could be rest, food, comfort, praise, protection, or even play market. Ask yourself, if I was 8, what would I need right now? Then do the smallest version of that thing for yourself. 7. If your pain is negatively affecting your relationships, sleep, or self-worth, therapy helps. Look for attachment-focused therapy. or trauma-informed therapy. There are many good therapists in your area. BetterHelp.com is an online therapy platform if you live in the United States. And if therapy isn't accessible yet, start with journaling prompts. Journal everything you feel that may be as a result of being unwanted as a child. And when therapy becomes accessible, notes would be a good place to start. If you were an unwanted child, again, I want you to hear this clearly. Nothing about you is broken. Nothing about you is wrong. What you're dealing with are adaptations. They helped you survive a childhood where love felt uncertain or conditional. The good news is that what was learned can be unlearned. What was adapted can be softened. And what was missing can be given back, slowly, safely, and on your own terms. Healing does not mean blaming your parents forever. And it does not mean pretending nothing happened. It means finally telling yourself the truth without shame. You were a child. You deserved warmth. You deserved attention. You deserved to be wanted. And if no one told you that back then, you can start telling yourself now. If this video felt uncomfortable, familiar, or a little too accurate, that's okay too. You are not alone. Remember what I said about taking action? Take one small action from this video. Just one. And that will be enough to start changing the pattern. And if this video helped you feel seen, even a little, stay with us. There's more to unpack. And if you want more videos like this, subscribing helps me know to keep making them.